What's up, guys? We're here with DJ Vito V from Montreal. I'm Jamie Boom Boom, the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas. That's Vito V's hat. Let's go. All right, Vito.
How you doing?
How are you, man?
Good. Nice intro. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you for this lovely hat. We're going to support it here at the BTC production.
Thank you.
The Vito V snapback. This is a chill, a really cool throwback hat you guys got.
Well, throwback. I told the guy, give me the latest thing he had, so I'm going to have to talk to him if you think.
Yeah, but I like the mesh in the back,
yeah,
the nice
cool.
front.
It's good for the summer. Makes the hair breathe.
You have other merch for DJ Vito V?
Nothing really too crazy. I have some, I make tracksuits as well.
Oh, cool.
Very nice tracksuits. I'll get you one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
and,
man. I want to...
T-shirts. The basic stuff, like nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing too outlandish.
The hat is good enough for me.
Yeah,
man.
that's what I mean too. I didn't want to overextend myself. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Yeah, we're really thankful to have DJ Vito V, a very, very popular, well-known DJ here in Montreal. Obviously, you're on the radio on one of the popular stations here, so we're really, really thankful to have you. We're talking off air. We have a lot of mutual friends. We know a lot of the same people. So you grew up. You said you're born in Venezuela, grew up in Montreal. What's your backstory? What's DJ Vito V? Where's he from?
Well, I grew up in Montreal. I grew up living in a city called Bois de Filion.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother on my mom's side lived in Duvernay, Laval. And my grandmother on my father's side lived in RDP. So my contacts are spread across the island. Yeah. You're from the West Island?
Yeah, I grew up West Island, but I've been downtown for quite a while.
We look at the Italians from the West Island as like a little different.
We're very different.
Well, first of all, it's because you speak English properly. That's the primary difference, right? And culturally, I think it's like Italians in the East End are a little more steeped into the culture, let's say, which is nothing wrong with that. So I grew up, that's where I grew up. And then I went to Rosemary High School, where I was like one of 5 Italians. And then from there, I went to Laval Catholic, where I was one of 900 Italians. And then, but my passion was always music and DJing. I started DJing really, really young. And it's that camera, right? So I started DJing really, really young. And it's what I gravitated to. And I got good fast. Like I could mix on vinyls at the time at a really young age. So as soon as I got old enough to go to the clubs, I got introduced to the nightlife, and everything that goes with it. You know what I mean? So I was thrust into the limelight. I've been dying to use that term. I got thrust into the limelight at a young age. And when you're in the clubs, you learn a lot about life. You have to become very street smart. And so you make a lot of friends. You know,
we were talking off air about having to be able to defend yourself. You never know who's who, and the DJ kind of sees everything.
You see it all. You see it all before it happens. And with experience, if you're already a bit street smart, you could tell who's coming in looking for a fight. You could tell who has a bad attitude when they drink a little too much, and you get to size it up because it's pretty much the same movie every night, right? Just different characters, And so I met a lot of people over the years. I mean, the same way you can meet a brain surgeon who just got divorced and is looking for a new love. You can meet some guy who, steals cars for a living. It's a true story. Like you meet everybody. Yeah.
There's all kinds of characters in the club and the nightlife. Yeah,
and everyone loves music.
Yeah.
Everyone, there's something magical about having the right music, alcohol, and women in the same room.
Yeah.
It's a mix that's worked for a very long time. You know what I mean? So it's like I was always attracted to that scene. And throughout the years, then I started on the radio and made a lot of really good friends over the years.
That must be a nicer gig, or at least a more relaxed gig when you can perform on the radio. I know we were talking about the old club days. So I remember like Mix 96 and other radio stations would have kind of, now with DJ Vito V. Yeah. So would that be like in a club setting, or would you be in studio? How would that kind of work out?
It's changed over the years. When I first started, it was MC Mario on
That's right, yeah.
On Mix 96. And he was live from the Dome. So at midnight, at the stroke of midnight, the radio station would be transmitting straight from the club.
Because I remember being in the Dome and like, oh my God, we're live on the radio. Everybody would go,
it was the end of the world because there was no Facebook, there was no Instagram. That was the club was the Facebook. That's where you get to be seen. That's where you get to meet people. if you want to be a bit of a fashionista, that's where it's at. Now you have Facebook, you have all these other things. So I guess the importance of going clubbing to be seen and all that kind of maybe dropped a little bit.
Okay.
But it still is like it's the main stage. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? Like
it's where you work, where you perfect your craft.
And it's also, I think, in terms of social settings, it's the one that attracts the most like-minded people.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like when you're young, you're looking for love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go to
Party
the club.
too. Yeah.
Of course, you're looking for a party with your friends. It's something you want to do, right?
Yeah.
It's like a huge thing when you're younger, and it's like a lot of people missed out on really good scholastic opportunities to be in those clubs on Saturday nights.
Yeah,
you know
they got taken in by that lifestyle for
you
sure.
get taken in by
Yeah.
and there's a lot of people that get taken in and never come out of it properly.
Wow.
So for me, like having the chance to work on, such a legendary station, where FM 96, which became Mix 96, which became Virgin
Iheart
96,
Radio,
and
yeah.
now it's 95.9 Virgin Radio. For
It's
me,
not
it was
Iheart
always,
Radio, or that's
Iheart
that's the
Radio is
platform.
like it's the digital platform.
Right. Mhm.
So you could listen to Virgin on iHeart. All you have to do is download the iHeart app, and then you can listen to the after party with Vito V every Saturday night at 10 p.m.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another thing you talked about so much there, and I want to cover all this. So one thing I want to cover with you is kind of the parallels of sport, because we're about the same age.
Yeah.
And we looked at your Instagram. I'm looking you up. We know each other. We know each other a little bit from Instagram, from mutual friends. But I'm finally able to sit down and talk with you. I noticed on your Instagram, don't have crazy amount of posts. You have some big things going on. You're performing at Beach Club. We love Beach Club up north here in Montreal. Yeah. They're a great club. Performing Ile Soniq. You've got all these things. You're doing all these things, but you don't have that many posts. And it's kind of parallel with my athletic career, because we didn't really grow up with you're going to do your thing and you're taking 5 pictures and 5 posts and 5 hashtags. We kind of grew up in the life of, hey, look, you're going to do your thing, you're going to work, and work is work. And this was kind of social media was different. Has it changed now with DJs? Are they really using the social platform? Is it something that you're looking towards, or you just say, you know what, I've done it, I know what I'm worth, I don't need to, because you don't have that many posts. Of course, a lot of following. Everybody knows who you are.
Yeah.
And everybody on the radio knows who you are. But are you really focusing on that? Are you not focusing on that? What's your take on social media and your development in your career?
Well, I mean, social media, I think, is it's necessary. People need to see who you are, but I also believe that less is more. So I'll always keep my posts I'll post stuff and I'll remove it.
Okay.
So it's always more or less like, I don't want to have something you scroll down on Instagram and you have 7,000 posts.
And people are going forever and they see a picture of you with your dog 25 years ago.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I keep it to the more notable stuff. Like,
right.
For instance, one picture that I've never taken down is when I met Stevie Wonder. How many people get to meet Stevie Wonder, right?
Right, yeah.
Guy Stevie Wonder. You're going to leave that picture.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, my birthday from 5 years ago,
Yeah.
I appreciate the friends that came and all that, but you could put that in the archive. You keep it fresh, right? So, but it's definitely extremely important. So, like in terms of credibility, I mean, it says a lot about who you are, whether you like it or not.
And do you work with a team in this, or is it just you take care of on your own?
I'm the one-man show.
The one-man show.
I get, I'll have a manager or an agent tell me, maybe you should cut your hair, or maybe you should do this. But at the end of the day, I make my own decisions, right?
Yeah, and we're talking also, the other thing you want to cover was, fighting in the club. You were very close with a legendary Montrealer. I mean, we talked about GSP, we both know him, but I also want to talk about Arturo Gatti. It's someone that I just found out that you know extremely well.
Yeah.
Someone that I looked up to in the game, in the fight game. He's a legend. It's someone you know personally. You guys would go out together. You guys would have a good time. And what was Arturo like? Like, being his friend, was that that must have been intense? I know he was a very intense individual in and out the ring,
He was an extremely humble guy.
Right.
Really, really, really down to earth. Very generous. Always was the first guy with his hand in his pocket to pay for everything. He was very like, it's almost like he didn't know that he was Arturo Gatti in a sense. Like, kind of like GSP. Like GSP, you'll see him out somewhere. I've known him for a long time. The guy's GSP.
Yeah.
He's a living legend, and he's just there, very normal. He still, says hi, has no airs about him. Kind of the same thing, like very similar in that sense. And Arturo was just a all around really, really good dude. Like I told you before, it was like, felt like you were hanging around with Superman.
Right.
The guy was like Superman.
So you
bro.
saw him sometimes throw punches in the club, or it didn't happen?
It happened. For sure, it happened. I mean, it didn't take very long
Yeah.
because the guy, I mean, when he hit you, was like hitting with. It was like literally like taking a hammer. Like if I would take a hammer and hit someone with a hammer, it was probably the same effect.
Yeah.
Because like he told me, like once I remember a guy started a fight with him, and he literally just defended himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like so in shock. Well, they were three guys.
How quick it could go down, yeah.
And it
Three of
happened.
them.
It was three of them. And there were three big guys. And Arturo's not much bigger than we are.
Yeah. How many
And
guys were you?
Him. And I was there. You know what I mean? Because I'm not a fighter,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I'm going to go down for the cause. If
Yeah.
we're in, right? I'm not going to leave. Like I was thinking, I'm not going to let Arturo Gatti take a beating by himself.
Yeah.
I
So how long
obviously
did that fight last? The two of you against
4
the three of them?
seconds. 4 seconds. He threw 4 punches, 3 guys in really bad shape, and the third
Yeah.
man quit his job. That
Yeah.
happened. That's real.
Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, you talked about how the situation can escalate so quickly in a club when you involve alcohol.
Yeah.
And as
And
a
they didn't
DJ,
know- They didn't know it was him though. In fairness,
Yeah.
like I think that once they got downstairs, the middle guy said, "Oh my God, wait a minute,"
Yeah,
and it was too late.
it was too late. Yeah,
His friend was looking for it and he found it, and
Yeah.
that's when I realized how much of a difference there is. Because as a DJ, you always have the bird's eye view,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen hundreds and hundreds of fights over the years.
Fight starting,
Fight
fights
starting,
being
the guy
transpired.
punches the first guy, does nothing. Then everyone's just punching each other.
Yeah.
And it's very rare, thank God, knock on wood, that anyone really leaves in super bad shape. This guy threw 4 punches,
Yeah.
and they were in bad shape. So it's a whole different planet. Now, for me,
Yeah.
I mean, I might sound ignorant because you're a fighter, but for someone who isn't a fighter, I think that you don't realize how much of a gap there
Yeah.
is between someone who actually knows how to fight and someone who doesn't. Like the gap is mind blowing. And so I said to myself, wow, like it was a learning experience for me too. It was
Yeah.
a massive learning experience because now you're gonna, you see that. You're going to think twice before punching someone.
I always say to people, I'm like, I don't know why when you drink alcohol, you obviously already think you can fight. Like you're a UFC fighter. Like when I drink alcohol, I don't all of a sudden think I can throw a football like Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I don't get like my own superpowers, So I don't know why. I've never understood because I guess because I've been in a combat sport for so long, I've never had that feeling of, now I'm Superman. I can do something. Maybe because I know what the reality is, like you said, and in me, there's physiological differences too. If I'm a small guy, I'm a flyweight. So if I pick a fight with a guy and he's a heavyweight fighter, I have no chance.
If
he
he's
has
a
skill.
fighter.
If he has skill, yeah.
But if he's not a fighter, my money's on you. That's the truth.
Well, you never know. You never know. So again, like back to Arturo Gatti, he's so sad. I mean, I didn't know you knew him that well. You guys kind of grew up together, linear paths, in Montreal here.
Not really.
No.
No. He
Oh,
was
not?
No. He was older than I was.
Yeah.
And I met him by fluke.
Oh.
We just like happened to bump into each other, and we kind of just like hit it off because he had asked me, he's like, is there any? He had just moved back to Montreal from New Jersey.
New Jersey was training.
And
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
looking for like things to do,
Mm-hmm.
clubs to go to, and he landed like on the guy, right? So I said, I'll hook you up, wherever
Yeah.
you want. And he was just always a gentleman. Like he always kept good company. Like his friends were cool people too, and so that's like how we met. But we weren't friends for a very long time because
Right.
he died suddenly,
Yeah.
which was obviously tragic and terrible. But one of the greatest moments that I've lived on a personal level was making him and GSP meet.
Yeah.
And we were at John Chamberg's gym,
Yep.
which I don't know where it is now, but at the time it was right here, I believe, on Jean Talon.
Jean-Talon Victoria.
There
yeah.
you go.
It was called J Sport at the time. Yeah. Now it's APC.
It was upstairs.
Yep.
It was upstairs. So we
It was
went
a small
there.
gym. It was upstairs in a little mini mall. Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
he's like, if you want to, now's a good time. And George was training. And Art was, he was like, we went upstairs and they met, and it was like, it's two iconic figures.
For sure. Yeah.
Meeting.
Mhm.
They took a picture together, and then like right away, Art's like, look, he's training. I don't want to bother him while he's training. Like, I don't want to bother him
Yeah.
at all. Like,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
had
yeah.
such a respect
For the craft. Yeah.
for what it takes to do that. Because
Yeah.
Art told me that training was a disaster. He's like, it's really hard. And when
Mhm.
someone's training, don't bother them.
Especially when you're that intense and you're into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So That's interesting. And again, just about the fight scene in the club, because it's so interesting to hear a DJ's perspective. Everybody thinks DJ, it's this, it's that. But it must be like, now I'm a little bit in stand-up comedy. I did some fights. You know, when you're coming up on any scene, you have some, like, I would say grimier shows, grimier venues. So people don't think the DJ's right in there, man, right in the middle. Everybody wants to be near the DJ booth. And it's so interesting to hear a high-level DJ talk about that, how the come up, you know, you were probably in some situations where, man, the action was right around you and stuff.
Crazy stuff. But I got lucky. I never really had to do the grimier stuff.
Okay.
Like I kind of started right at the top.
Nice, yeah.
And
That's great.
I got lucky in that sense. But at the same time, I'm not a guy who goes around starting fights.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Are some of the DJs more like aggressive? Are they on edge? Or they just trying to do their thing?
Are, I mean, listen, I'm sure there are a few DJs who like to get drunk and think that they're Superman, but you're so busy trying to make people dance 3 minutes at a time that if you're focusing on fighting, you're not in the right business. Like, it's tough. Being a DJ is not easy, man.
So that's the next thing I wanted to ask you is, I know there's a lot of upcoming DJs. It's not something that I've always loved the club life. I've always loved dancing. I love to be a part of the energy. It's amazing. Even yesterday, producer Pascal and I we did a Vox Pop in Little Italy. As soon as Italy wins the Euro, the DJ plays music, and it's just, everybody was already alive because of the win, and then, right? As soon as that music played, bang, everybody comes to life. And me and Pascal still, to this day, 24 hours later, still have the song in our head, you know, Felicita. Like, we kept singing it because the DJ just had the right song at the right moment. So I want to talk about how important is that to select, like, to know your crowd. How do you get a crowd going? Or is it just like, because, I'm at a party, I have people over the counter, and I say, hey, I'm going to be the DJ. I'm going to play the right music, get everybody going. And it's not as easy as it looks. To, like,
it's very hard.
How do you, is it about crowd management? Do you judge a crowd? Do you have to know your crowd?
It's about setting a vibe. You have to play songs. You have to be able to size up the room, size up the people, and know which song to play, which will set the vibe. And once you get that vibe going, you have to, like, carry the wave. So, like, there are songs that we could play. Like, I for sure, I could start a fight in a club with the music. Like, all you have to do is, like, play Rocky.
Little John or something.
Play
Rocky.
Play Rocky at 2:30 in the morning. Someone's throwing a punch. Rising up.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
one of his montages.
Someone's throwing a punch. Guaranteed someone's throwing a punch. But at the same time, you know, there's songs you can play to de-escalate.
Yeah.
So it's all about choosing the right song, the right place, the right time. That's all it is. And once you learn how to do that, you could actually become really good.
The other thing I wanted to ask you is, like, how important is it for you to stay fresh now that you're on the radio? You've got, like, all these gigs going. You're kind of, like, setting your career, and it's not easy. Anybody who's doing an artistic endeavor, you know, a DJing, stand-up comedy. We know, athletes. Is it important to stay fresh right now? Are you still developing sets, or you know what, you have your material and
all
you're
the
good?
Time. No, The second that you take a day off in this business, you're done.
Right.
Because there's so many people that want to take your spot, either in a club or on the radio or whatever. Like, it's when I started DJing, it wasn't the cool thing to do. It was actually, like, it was a pain in the ass. You had to carry boxes and records, and you know what I mean? You had to invest money, and now you buy a program, and anybody who has, like,
a laptop,
a bit of an idea that, I like music, I'll become a DJ. But that's, like, back in the day, you needed real skill. You know, like, I compare it to a rock band. You know, like that game where you push the buttons.
Yep.
Well, that guy who's pushing those buttons, if he ever gets the illusion that he's playing the guitar, that's
me. The first time I play, I'm like, hey, give me a guitar, man. What the fucking...
No, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not the same thing at all.
No,
yeah. So it's like, it's extremely competitive, and that's what keeps you fresh. You have to, like, if you want to get to the top of, I think, anything, if you're not going to work like a madman and look like you're completely possessed by it, it'll never happen.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Like, for me, that's all it was. It was like, literally come home from school, 12 years old.
DJ.
School dance is happening. I'd go lobby the principal to say, can I mix for an hour?
Yeah.
And I busted so many people's balls when I was in high school that both high schools I went to put a DJ booth for me. That's true.
That's incredible.
That's verified.
Yeah,
like that happened. I didn't care about
That was like
hockey.
Yeah, when I went to high school too, I made sure we had a wrestling team. I made it happen. You know, if I'd find a gym teacher who could sign off for it. You know,
that's what it was. So
making it happen. Yeah.
You know, hockey. Okay, you know, you're 5 years old, you're good. You're 6 years old, you're good. 10 years old, everybody's a foot taller than you. You're still good, but they're bigger than you. By the time you're 15 years old, and your teammate has a pinch, and you still look like you still look.
You don't have pubic hairs yet.
Maybe it's not fucking. You know, maybe this isn't the look.
Yeah, there's for sure. There's physiological and genetic disadvantages that, and obviously DJ doesn't.
My physique was more for DJ. My physique was more for, the less of the body checking physical aspect. But I still do think that, my parents did put me in karate. And I boxed a little bit.
And those lessons maybe were valuable, or?
Well, I mean, I don't think that everyone who boxes wants to become a world champion. I think that you could put your kid in boxing or in martial arts and he'll get something good out of it no matter what. Like you're going to push your body, you're going to learn to deal with pain, you're going to learn to, discipline. Yeah. There's a lot that comes out of it. Difference with you is that you took it to a professional level. It's the same thing with DJing. Exactly the same thing.
So it's same that, because I really want to ask you that is, I'm sure there's so many aspiring DJs out there, because it's something that, like you said, it seems on the surface like it may be an easy endeavor, but it's not. It takes a lot of practice, and so that what you would tell people: just stay with it, push, knock on doors, make sure you're doing what you can to make sure you're being heard. Or
it's the coolest job in the world. If you like women, if you're attracted as a man, right? You're attracted to women. You enjoy social settings with loud music. You like, listen. It's a blast. It really is. So if you're already attracted to that lifestyle of, beautiful women,
maybe traveling,
loud music,
nightlife.
Well, that comes later.
Okay,
but, if you're a person who likes clubbing and you love music, it's the coolest job in the world. It really is. Like, you're getting paid substantial amounts of money to party. Now, you have to be able to back that up with the work that goes on behind the scenes, getting the music first. That's the biggest thing. For me, that's always been the biggest thing. You have to be able to harvest relationships with the right people to get the music first. If you have the music first, there's a difference between the guy who plays the music that everybody wants to hear and the guy who plays the music that everybody is going to want to hear.
Wow.
Big difference.
Yeah.
So if you're always listening to music, if you have the ear to find the hits, and if you're willing to mix your music in a way where it'll keep people dancing, you could do really well in this business.
And this is awesome, because you're just leading into my next question, which is, what is the popular music right now? I know EDM is a huge thing. I know when they're at the rave scene kind of, or like New City Gas or Ile Soniq, they play a lot of EDM. What's popular right now? What's selling the most? What are you most requested for right now? Would you say music?
People know what I'm known for, right? So I play in house music clubs, and I love house music, which is under the EDM umbrella, electronic dance music. And then there's like the whole urban side, like hip hop music, R&B, and all that. Two very different things. And then it boils down to like personal taste. Like some people might like country music more than they like polka. It's the same thing with hip hop and EDM. It just boils down to what you like, really. So like for me, I was always attracted more to house music. Now, do I like hip hop? I like the early hip hop. I don't like mumble rap. I don't like that at all. Like, it's just not my vibe. But I like the early hip hop, like Biggie, all the classic stuff. 112.
Those are still classic songs.
They're classic songs. They're masterpieces. You know what I mean? Like, those are songs that I enjoy. Like, when you have a good DJ mixing those songs, it makes for a good party. But I came to find that, just for me, mixing house music, where generally your dance floor doesn't even know 90% of the songs you're playing, but the music feels right.
Right.
The vibe is right. There's a connection with those people that you're not going to have on the hip hop side. The hip hop side, you're just playing music that you know is going to work.
Everybody's going to sing along.
Everyone's going to sing along. Everyone has, like, every DJ has their own little touch to it, which is cool, which is great. But for me, like, the highest level of mixing music, the absolute highest level is house music. Like there's no again, this is by my experience and my opinion, right? So I mean, but and if you look at the DJs who make the most money, the DJs who are the most like world renowned, they're all like house music and EDM DJs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It's like so it's they built a whole business around it. Like when you go to Vegas, you're gonna see, you know, Tiesto's face on a hotel. That's crazy. That's crazy stuff, man. Yeah. You know, like
you're gonna be there, man.
Well, I listen. You know, I don't. How can I put this? It's like, who wouldn't want to be Tiesto, right? Biggest DJ in the world. But people don't see the work that goes on behind it. The hours spent in airports, or a guy like Calvin Harris, or a guy like whoever. Or, you know, choose like one of the world's biggest DJs.
Aoki,
yeah, you know, you're gonna see their Instagram, private jet, nice shoes, brand new car, beautiful girlfriend, crazy watch, or whatever. But the work that goes into getting there,
nobody sees that.
It's crazy. It's really
but
crazy.
You said something interesting also off air. You said that a lot of DJs hit their stride mid-30s, 40s even.
It seems that way. I mean, like, look at David Guetta when David Guetta got big. You know, like.
Well, it was older. I always thought he was young
older.
Guy.
He's you know, he was older. You know, but then again, you know, you can look at a guy like Martin Garrix, who is more of like a pop star-ish guy. Like he got really big at 16 or 17 years old.
Yeah. Was he using social media to?
He came out with like one really big song, and then like the big music machine got behind him. There's a lot of money to make, man. You know, like there's a lot of money to make, and he made a ton of money. You know, like even like a guy like Hardwell, who like was like one of the biggest DJs in the world, about our age, huge money, like millions and millions of dollars, touring and the whole 9 yards. And then one day, you know, he put a post up and said, "Look, I'm fed up."
Yeah.
You know, a guy made like $30 million.
Crazy.
You know, does he want to spend the next 40 hours this week in an airplane?
Yeah.
He
I
doesn't.
never thought of that. Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it boils down to what you really want out of it. You know, being like the Montreal guy is a blast.
Oh, for sure.
You know, there's good clubs here. We're known as a party city. But even that, like at some point, you don't want to do that forever. You don't want to be, at this bar on this corner of the street that night and that bar and that. You understand what I'm saying? Like I think that you always have to push for more. And it's a great accomplishment, you know, like to be a DJ from this city and to be a DJ of note from this city. But I think that if you are content with that, you have one foot in the grave. You have to always push for more. And the day you don't want more, then you got to find something else to do.
Yeah, I guess, it's being... Obviously, we talked about GSP, and he talked a lot about, once you have the title, you still have to push yourself to have training camps. He talked about how hard the training could be. It's a lot of work. You can't get lackadaisical. You can't get lazy. You've got to always be pushing. And it's great to hear from a DJ because, again, it's one of those art forms that I think I respect so much because I realize now, especially working here at BTC, the creativity that goes behind the artist way. And this is something, it's an art form. And you guys, a guy like you, just to tell me that story of being a kid and going to the principal and making sure you can be heard, your sets, everything like that. And, it's here at the show, we're trying to get out there. We're trying to do everything we can. We're getting shirts made with QR codes just so maybe one more person could look us up. We just love spreading the word of, and again, what I love to do is promote people like you. I think you're great. I think it's great that we have Montrealers who are pushing to the next level and who are doing great things. I'm wearing the Canadiens jersey now. Are you a Habs fan there, Vito?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Can they have a chance, man? 3-1, they're down.
No,
they have a chance?
Of course they have a chance.
They have a chance?
Yeah. So
they have to win. 3 in a row. It's not easy against Tampa Bay.
You got to play to win, man.
You got to play to win, yeah.
You got to play it.
Crazy,
right? You have a chance.
It's nice they made it this far, for sure.
Listen.
But we're going for gold.
You have to play to win. And they still have to play, so it's not over.
Not over.
Crazier things have happened, no?
Yeah, for sure.
So, I hope they win. It would be nice.
Yeah, it's a good team now. Like, you know,
Yeah, it is a good
it's
team.
crazy to see. You know, I wasn't really following this year, but then to see the evolution of these young guys, you know, guys like Toffoli, Caulfield, all these guys, Suzuki, they're just so good, man. It looks like they
they're
have 4 lines that are rolling.
They have a good team, and I think a lot of the pressure that was on the management has kind of subsided now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that that's a good thing, because now I think they always knew what they had, but now everybody knows what they have.
Yeah.
So
It's good.
they're going to be taken a little more seriously. And I think that the owners and the management and all that, they're going to be, they must be thrilled, because, you know, they're proven right, man.
Mm-hmm.
They
They
were
got rid
right.
of some
The team
coaches.
is good.
Yeah, the team's good.
You know,
yeah,
like, the team's
yeah.
good, and I think it's only going to get better.
Nice.
I hope.
Yeah.
It would be nice that they won a title.
Imagine, and Italy's doing well. We're going to the finals in the Euro.
If Italy wins, it's going to be one party. But if the Montreal Canadiens win, it's going to be like times.
We're gonna be there.
10,000.
We're going to be at the parade. We'll do a vox pop
Yeah,
for sure.
it's crazy.
Yeah. Vito, thanks. I mean, look, is there anything else you want to say? I mean, you're on the radio. It's very easy to find you. You're not you're not a guy that you have to search the archives hard to see your
No.
music, to see your sets. Easy to find you. Go onto your Instagram, DJ Vito V.
Correct.
You're on the radio. You're going to be performing at Ile Soniq. I saw Beach Club. Anywhere else we can see you live?
Well, Ile Soniq is. I've played there twice already.
Okay.
And they don't have a lineup for next year, I don't think.
Okay.
I'm at Beach Club all the time.
They're good
I mean,
guys. They're
Who, the Beach Club?
Montrealers. Yeah, all those
amazing.
guys.
No, well,
yeah.
Probably some of the finest people you
Yeah.
could work for. Honestly,
And I love the way they reinvented the club out there, because it was kind of dying for a bit a
it
couple
was
years
dying,
ago.
and the Primo family is they're just excellent people.
Awesome
And,
stuff.
You know, like
Yeah.
Joe
Yeah.
March. I don't know if you know Joe. That's a good guy you should have on your podcast.
Yeah, I
He's
would love to.
interesting.
Yeah.
He's running
He's the face behind it, or
Well, no, he's like running the show,
okay.
and very cool guy, man.
Mhm.
And Olivier's another. I mean,
Yeah.
Olivier, I
Super
don't
guy,
understand
yeah.
why he gets so much hate. Guy's amazing. He's
Yeah, I
a
didn't
gentleman.
even-
He's a
yeah.
nice kid, man.
He's bringing a lot of eyes to the Montreal
Well,
scene.
not only that, but
Yeah.
I mean, listen, he's doing it. Everyone knows who he is. It's really hard to attain that. It's
Mhm.
hard to get known.
Mhm.
This guy's known, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And he's always working, and he's never in the news for anything bad. He's a good dude, and I'm happy for him.
Pascal, get the team, cater a few lunches, a few dinners. We're going for dinner. We're going out to Beach Club, and we're going to be a part of the club scene now.
Whatever you want.
Let's go,
Buckle up.
Vito.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you,
much.
my brother. Guys, great interview, man. That was great stuff. A huge education on all DJing and what it takes to become a DJ with DJ Vito V. We had the premier DJ in Montreal giving you all the goods. Guys, again, help the channel, like, comment, subscribe. We won't push it. We won't bust your balls too much. We just did. Peace.